started with Philippine Airlines many years ago, one of the first trivia that we would always learn is when the first flight of Philippine Airlines was. Diba? And as Shella mentioned earlier, March 15, 1941, that was the first flight with 5 passengers on a Beechcraft Model 18. And it was from Manila to Baguio, and that was the birth of Philippine aviation. So very historic. Baguio is very historic in terms of Philippine aviation. Okay? And now we are days from marking another historic event. So on the 16th of December, PAL will launch a pioneer service that will link Baguio City with Cebu for the very first time, restoring regular commercial operations to and from Baguio Luwacan Airport and making your home city easily accessible by air from Cebu and the rest of the Philippines, particularly the Visayas and the Mindanao regions. So our Cebu to Baguio flights will have early morning departures every Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday at 8:50 a.m., arriving in Baguio at 10:50 a.m., while the Baguio to Cebu legs will depart on the same days at 11:10 a.m., arriving in Cebu at 1 p.m. So we are very excited to offer this new connectivity for Benguet residents to travel more conveniently to their holiday or business destinations all over the Philippines, and for travelers from all over the Philippines going to Baguio. So travelers from Baguio may now enjoy connectivity via Mactan, Cebu, to fly on PAL or to Butuan, Cagayan de Oro, Boracay, Siargao, Davao, Bacolod, Iloilo, and Tacloban. So likewise, our new route will help entice more visitors from around the country to rediscover the wonders of Baguio. So Philippine Airlines has been very busy, ramping up flights all over the PAL network. So over the past 2 years, we have restored our routes to 32 cities in Asia, the Middle East, Australia, Canada, and the United States. PAL is again the only airline flying direct to North America and Hawaii, and we offer the most flights on multiple routes to Australia, Japan, and the Middle East. So this is really part of our mission, as part of our mission in nation building and promoting our country as the only full-service network airline and its national flag carrier. So going back to Cebu, we have built up our strategic Cebu hub. As I mentioned, there will be a lot of connectivity from travelers from Baguio and the Benguet region. So in Cebu, we have over 200 flights per week to 19 cities around the country and Asia. So just yesterday, December 1, we started flying from Cebu to the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao, serving both Cotabato City and Tawi-Tawi with 2 flights per week. On December 9, we will link Cebu with Bangkok in the Kingdom of Thailand. And on December 19, we will fly to Borongan, the surfing gateway of Eastern Samar, with twice weekly flights from Mactan, Cebu. So just recently, we announced that PAL achieved its 3rd straight profitable quarter of positive operating results. And for this, we thank God and appreciate the efforts of the Philippine Airlines family of personnel, along with the untiring support of our valued passengers, our business and travel partners, and all industry stakeholders. So now we are getting ready for the busy holiday travel season. We will work together with our partners in government and the private sector to support a comeback for tourism and the Philippine economy, an effort that begins in communities just like yours, right here in Baguio City. So we thank the Baguio City government, led by Honorable Mayor Benji Magalong, as well as the Departments of Tourism and Transportation for all the actions undertaken to make our new Baguio flights possible. So as a result of these actions, Baguio is once again open for commercial air travel. Now, just last Monday, we conducted a successful test flight supervised by the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, using a PAL de Havilland Dash 8 aircraft that landed and took off from Luwacan Airport. So this made it official for us. We are back home in Baguio, proud to serve you once again. So please, to the members of media, thank you for being here, and please help us spread the good news. And thank you and have a good day to everyone. Mabuhay at salamat sa inyo lahat.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. You heard the words of our PALEX president, Mr. Rabi Vincent Ang. Okay, at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open to your questions. There are microphones available. Please state your name and your organization, and please ask your questions now. Okay, Kit, shall we assist our friends from media? Okay, that is Mr. Kit Javier. If you have a question, just raise your hand and the mic will go to you. Okay, magtanong na po tayo. You can ask a question to anyone from the panel table to our presidential table in front. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Good morning. I'm Joseph Cabanas of Radio Filipinos. I just would like to ask kung may ginawa bang feasibility study kasi may mga previous airlines na nag-venture sa Baguio City pero hindi ho sila nagtagal. What would be the breaking point of PAL? Ayaw ko sanang tanungin yun eh.
No.
Kasi, because I know PAL will continue its legacy na iparating yung mga bisita dito sa anywhere in the country. Ano? What will be the breaking point of PAL to stop its operation dito sa Baguio? Considering yung number of passengers that would book.
Okay. Yes. The question is the feasibility study, the preparations. Okay. Yeah, please click first. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for your question. So, there are two ways to answer this. So in terms of feasibility, let me take the first aspect of it. No? With PAL Express, kasi kami po yung mag-ooperate ng flight. So there's the operational feasibility. So that's one thing that we were very intentional about. Kasi, this will be the first time that PAL will be flying in a long time. So when we did the demonstration flight the other day, we had reviewed all of our internal processes, the internal route guide that we're doing, and we had no less than the deputy DG of CAAP, Captain Ed Diaz, joined the flight, along with some of our very senior pilots who flew the 737 before here to Lawakan Airport. So in terms of operational feasibility, kasi this will actually be the longest flight that our de Havilland Dash 8 will be flying. So it's about 2 hours from Cebu to Baguio. So in terms of operations, we are very confident that we are able to operate this flight. So that is one aspect that we are fully focused on and making sure that we operate safely and reliably. So that's on the operation side, and I think Bob will talk about the commercial feasibility, which I think is also a major part of your question.
Yes. Hello. Good morning. Magandang umaga po and salamat po sa inyong lahat to all our media friends and stakeholders. Sa tanong niyo naman po on the commercial side, on the feasibility. Now, una-una po, we'd like to really put it forward that we're optimistic about this route and committed to this route. No? If you look at the schedule po, una kaming tinanong, pwede sigurong 2 times a week lang yan. Pero inisip po namin kung 3 times a week, but we eventually decided on 4 times a week. No? So, we are pleased to report that the first flight, especially the Cebu to Baguio leg, we are already at 60 to 70% bookings for the first week. No? Yung Baguio to Cebu, we're a little under half of the load, but we see it as we continue to promote the route to build up. No? If you're asking po about the feasibility commercial, ano po yung break-even point, that will vary. Kasi po unang-una, marami pong factors. No? So, the cost of operating the flight, yung fuel, malaki pong component, medyo mataas po ngayon. No? But how we're seeing it, we see it sustainable. No? Hindi po tayo nalulugi sa route. And we feel that this will continue, especially po itong December, and then you have the events both in the Baguio side, no, which is your Panagbenga, January to March po yan, at saka yung sinulog po sa kabilang end na January sa Cebu. And we also see po year-round, the Cebu-Baguio route will really be patronized po by our customers, no? Marami po, especially sa Visayas, and hindi lang po sa Visayas, pati sa Mindanao, who will use the Cebu Gateway going to Baguio. Vice versa naman po, if you look at the schedules, galing pong Baguio, you will have good connectivity round trip to not only of course to Cebu, but also Iloilo, Bacolod, and Cagayan de Oro. Tapos one way rin po, if yung mga sa inyo pong pupunta sa Boracay, aalis po kayo dito ng 11:10 a.m., 3:20 po nasa Boracay na kayo. So, at least on the direction going to Boracay. But briefly to answer po your question, for the loads that we're seeing, we are above break-even. And actually, the more po that we use our planes, no, the more that we have flights, mas lalo po tayong magiging sustainable. Kasi bumababa po yung unit cost po natin. So, yun po yung goal po namin. Hopefully, no, in time, mapadami pa po yung frequency. And also, if you could help us promote this flight to generate more awareness. Thank you.
And let me add, no, I think most of the feasibility studies before were more for Manila Baguio. Diba? So this time it's Cebu Baguio, so it's linking the Visayas and the Mindanao areas to Baguio. So I think it's the first time that this is happening, you know. And we can do this because we have the perfect aircraft to do it. So we have, as I mentioned, yung De Havilland Dash 8. So it's a turbo-propeller aircraft, but it's as fast as a jet, it's as comfortable as a jet, and you know, it has the right size, diba? Para sa number of passengers, it's 86 seaters. So I think we have the perfect aircraft to make this happen now, no? And I think that in terms of feasibility, that is a very important component of airline economics. Thank you.
Can I just add? President Stanley na, during one of our meetings, confided to me that it's not financially viable during their pre-feasibility study. It's not. No? But it was a commitment. Sabi niya, Mayor, it was our commitment. We have been working on this for the past, since 2019. Pero ano sabi niya? Pero may mga nakikita kaming opportunities. And many of these opportunities are still unknown. Although they have identified some of this, pero many are still unknown. And true enough, no? Lumalabas yung maraming opportunities. Yung mga connecting flights to the other tourist destinations. Yung possibility na magkakaroon tayo, for example, a dual meet on golf players. Tumatawag sa akin yung mga Cebu. Ngayon, bakit hindi tayo na magkaroon tayo ng yearly dual meet, Cebu versus Baguio, you know? Ang daming mga opportunities tayo nakikita. No? So, they're actually banking on that to make the flights sustainable. Itong leg na to sustainable. And besides, narinig naman natin doon sa Tourism Council natin, led by no less than Miss Gladys Vergara na may mga guaranteed seats. Bakit pala mo namimig yata sa mga hotel? Yeah. Alam mo, sa totoo lang, I mentioned to Stanley during our initial talks, first meeting, na we have commitment from the other hotels na, our big time hotels, that they are guaranteeing seats for the flights. Cebu to Baguio. So, it's just a matter of delivering that commitment also. So we are heavily relying on you, Tourism Council. Mabuti na lang nandito ka, Glad. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Chairman Yes, sir.
Sir, if I may just add to what Mayor said, no? Totoo po yun. There are many unknowns. Commercially, we don't know whether this will be viable. We are hoping for the support of the stakeholders in Baguio and in Cebu to help us and make this a viable route for us. No? But part of the mission of Philippine Airlines is really not just on the commercial side. No? Ang tinitingnan po natin is yung mission of service to the nation. That is something that our chairman, Dr. Lucio Tan and his family, and our president, Captain Stanley Lang, have always reiterated, hindi lang po ito negosyo, ito po ay serbisyo sa bansa. And during the pandemic, I think we proved that. Hirap na hirap po kami sa pandemic, as everybody knows. No? We went through a restructuring, but we continued flying. Hindi po kami huminto. The other airlines po simply stopped operating. Ang PAL po, during the pandemic, we made sure that lumilipad po kami kasi marami pong stranded na ating kababayan na inuwi po namin. So that is really part of our commitment to service, and this particular route, we committed to the Mayor Magalong and to the people of Baguio that we will mount this flight, and we will do that on December 16th. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Carlo. May we hear from the chairman of the Baguio Tourism Council, Ms. Gladys Vergara? Would you like to add? Ay nararamdaman ko po na gusto yung magsalita. Sige po. Audio on, please.
Good morning. Honestly, we've been talking with your marketing, and we've been meeting with the Baguio Tourism Council. There are different sectors in the Tourism Council, and they have planned already exchanges that will happen, like parehong creative city ang Cebu and Baguio. So there'll be an exchanges on culture and the arts, there'll be exchanges on education, exchanges on the hotels, and also the Restaurant Association of Baguio and the Restaurant Association of Cebu. They've been meeting online actually. Kaya lang, medyo hirap lang sila sa hotels in Baguio this December. So we've been pushing it on January. That's a commitment. Thank you.
Okay, such good news. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Kip?
Hi, Shelo. There's a question from Mr. Andrew. Then after Mr. Andrew, Mia of the Baguio Chronicle will also
Okay.
ask our panel.
Okay, take it away, Andrew.
Good morning. When the news came out during the Arroyo administration that there were plans of closing Luacan Airport, the Hotel and Restaurant Association of Baguio, through the leadership, of course, of Mr. Anthony De Leon, was one in clamoring for the resumption of flights here in the city of Baguio. And we congratulate the Honorable Mayor, Mayor Benjamin Magalong, and of course, Philippine Airlines for finally bringing in a flight from Cebu to Baguio. As we speak, there are 1,200 golfers here in Baguio for the Phil-Am Invitational Golf Tournament. And we have brought in the news to them. And they're very happy that they're now linked to Cebu through a flight. These are players from the Asia-Pacific region. Now their question is, they noticed that December, of course, is a peak season here in Baguio City. And there are a lot of people who would want to travel to Cebu. You mentioned earlier also the festivals like the Panagbunga and the Sinulog. I'm sure that there's going to be a surge of people who will be flying from Cebu to Baguio and vice versa. Does this mean that it's going to be flexible for the airlines to add frequency to their flights in cases like this? Well, they talked about yung possibility kanina na, kami positive kami, frequency of flights.
Thank you, sir. And that's exactly why we're optimistic about this route. And this is what we do now. And once we see there is demand, no? And especially as we work closely with both sides, the tourism councils and the other stakeholders, we can scale. So right now we are 4 times a week. And of course, our intent in growing is if we could make that daily, daily, because number one, there will be better connections. There will be, first of all, better service for the traveling public. And number two, talaga pong nabubuo rin po yung network namin with more frequency. And again, siguro I would also want to highlight, this is one of the examples where all the stakeholders work together. And of course, both ends po nakikita po natin nagtutulungan, both Baguio and Cebu. And it's a good problem to have, really a surge in demand. We wish later on that we can land bigger aircraft. So as we are unable to do that, it will be frequencies if it will be growth for us.
Okay, thank you. For the person asked first, Joseph of GMA and Andrew of Baguio Country Club, Corporate Communications. Take it away, Kit.
Next is from the Baguio Chronicle.
Morning. We share the optimism of PALEX and the LGU in this new venture, renewed venture actually. The question is it will be directed to the LGU, to the DOT and CAAP. What preparations and improvements have been done to the airport and its facilities for the expected influx of travelers as well as for the safety concerns?
Mayor, what improvements has the LGU done as far as airport preparations, infrastructure, etc.?
Thank you. Maraming salamat. Let's talk about the runway first. A lot of people are saying na maikli yung runway natin. Kailangan habaan. Pero technically, mahirap ng pahabaan. It's 1.68, pero ang paved area is actually 1.8. Longer than Katiklan, which is only 1.2. So very safe. It's very safe. And besides, yung according to President Stanley na and according to Captain Shiki Tamayo, who is the Director General of CAAP, very safe yung ating runway. There's no doubt about it. Second is yung facility. Na-upgrade na lahat yung mga instruments doon na gagamitin nila, yung navigational instruments doon, okay na lahat. Nakapasa na doon sa standards provided for by CAAP or set forth by CAAP. Meron na rin tayong alignment according to our PAL pilots. Alam niyo ba na in the past, no pilots will be promoted to captain unless 4 times silang lilipad dito sa Baguio. Yan ang kanilang yata yung kanilang sort of a standard. Second is yung inaayos na lang natin yung terminal. Yung terminal, nire-rehabilitate nila ngayon temporarily. Temporary lang yan because the 50 million was not immediately released. According to CAAP, anytime soon, DBM will release the 50 million for the complete rehabilitation. Kaya ang sistema na ginagamit nila, the word is refurbishment. Ni-refurbish nila and we're coordinating with the Department of Tourism kung anong design na mangyayari. So for the meantime, we have to do with the existing facility. Although, inaayos lang natin, pinapaganda natin dahil may mga damage na rin yung mga facility doon. Inaayos na rin yung airport. Naglinis na rin kami sa airport. Last week, nandun kami, naglilinis kami. So we're ready. In fact, alam niyo ba na marami ng aircraft na pupunta rito ngayon? Our military aircrafts are regularly visiting Luacan Airport now. At any given time, mayroong mga 17 aircrafts coming in and out of Luacan Airport. And last Monday, Philippine Airlines did a demonstration flight. Different approaches ang ginawa nila. Approach coming from the east ba tawag na? North? East? Yeah, parang gano'n. And then west, sinubukan nila yung dalawang approaches with only 10 passengers. Halos kalahati lang nung runway ang inabot nila. No? Pero siyempre, kung fully loaded yan, iba naman yan. No? Baka aabot doon hindi naman aabot daw sa dulo. Aabot sa dulo kasi gaganon-ganon ng konti. Hindi naman gano'n. Okay, so we're very safe. So those are the preparations that we have made. We're ready. In short, we're not behind schedule. Advance pa nga tayo.
Maraming salamat, Mayor. Words of encouragement and of course from our PAL officials.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
If I may add to the
Please go ahead.
to the information of the mayor, no, on the part of the Department of Tourism, no, you're also on board in the preparations of the airport, no. Of course, we are aware that there's a long-term plan for the modernization of the airport. This has been a long time coming, as we have always mentioned, no. 2011 pa, nagkaroon na ng development plan for the airport, pero after how many years may papatupad na natin ito. And for the December 16 inaugural flight, we're also helping CAAP in the design. No, even if it's temporary, we're infusing some budget into the design of the existing airport. We have been there 2 days ago, Mayor, to ensure that the airport will exhibit the ambience of the Filipino identity, no? Especially, of course, the Cordillera culture. So even if it's temporary, we have to put some OOH, like billboards there, on the tourism attractions, such as in Baguio, but of course the nearby Benguet, and to put some architectural elements there that would really identify us as Baguio and Cordillera. So that's what we are doing right now. Of course, this is aligned with the new administration's trust now under our Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco to ensure that convenience is always there when we travel. And then of course, yung connectivity, we are now starting here in Baguio and of course around the Philippines. And of course yung equality so that all of us will be given that access or opportunity to travel around with convenience and ease. No? In addition, let me just also inform everyone that I think that was 2 weeks ago, we were able to organize to help in the promotion of the route, yung Cebu, Baguio, and Baguio route. We have actually invited already tour operators from Cebu, to Baguio City. And we have asked them to do a familiarization tour within Baguio City and Benguet as far as Atok, and then to Blay as well, to promote the other sites of Cordillera and Benguet within the Cordillera. And we provided the platform for them to have a travel exchange with our stakeholders. So we have our local tour operators. And we're so happy that this has led to some very, very positive leads, for travel, Baguio and Cebu destinations. So we are very hopeful, as the PAL management is also hopeful that this will be a sustained engagement, for Cebu and Baguio market. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director. One question from Sir Dave of GMA7.
Magandang umaga po. Sa tanong lang, meron bang other airlines na nag-commit or tried to add to their route ang Baguio to Cebu, like Sky Pasada or other small players? I remember the last one was Sky Pasada, yung Baguio to Batanes route 2014, which was quite short-lived.
I have been receiving word from some people that some airlines are actually interested. But look, we have been working on this since 2019. When we sent out word that we want to open Luacan Airport, only one airline responded. Philippine Airlines. Philippine Airlines lang ang kumausap sa atin, pumunta rito. And even with the new management, nandiyan pa rin yung kanilang support. They never wavered. So sino susuportahan natin? From the point of view of local government, from the point of view of City of Baguio. Someone who has been there, di ba? Who did not abandon us. And that's Philippine Airlines. Now, I do not like to be biased, pero sila yung kausap natin eh. Sila yung tumutulong sa atin. Can you say something about yung other potential na like, yeah.
Yes. For PAL po, of course, we are starting with the Cebu Baguio. Again, yes. For PAL po, of course, we are starting with the Cebu Baguio. But of course, later on, as we see the development of this route, we are dynamic po kami. We are dynamic and we always take a look at, of course, opportunities, no? Whether it be connecting Baguio to the Visayas or later on even Baguio to Mindanao or to other points po of the country. So again, very optimistic po tayo and we're really just encouraged with the reception and the opportunities with the connectivity.
Okay, thank you. Yes, yes.
From
Go ahead.
GMA News.
Good morning. We interviewed a few of the pilots during the demo flights last Monday, and they said only the weather can stop them from landing in Luwakan. What will be the limitations of the aircraft, and if where will be the flights be direct kung hindi makaland?
So, thank you for the question. So, in terms of limitation, dalawa po yan. One is yung ceiling, yung how low the clouds are. So, we need to be, about 8,000 feet. And then for the visibility naman, we need about 6 kilometers, no? So, weather like this will be perfect. And that's also part of why we chose yung timing. Kasi yung timing na yun, hindi masyadong maaga, so wala ng fog. Diba? It's close to noon time. So, the visibility will be at its best for the day. No, so that's part of the reason why we chose that. So all of these things came into consideration, no, sa planning namin. Now in terms of diversions, just in case, no, of course weather is we have no control over that, and there may be instances that we need to divert. So right now the options are to divert, of course, back to Cebu. That's one option, and another is to divert to Clark. One thing that we're also working out is our ability to divert to Poro Point, La Union. So hindi pa yan available immediately because there are also things that we need to do to make that possible, but definitely we are already working on that. So at least, diba, parang ang mission namin is to bring people from Cebu to Baguio. If we bring them down to La Union, then it can be a short bus ride to Baguio. So yeah, so those are the things that we're working on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Kit? Yes. One more question. We have 10 more minutes so to launch. So we will take your questions for the next 10 minutes. Okay? Ayan.
A lot of people are asking, how much is the fare for Baguio, Cebu, and vice versa, sir?
Yes, that's a good question po. We're looking at average fares of about 3,000 per way, no? 3,000 to 3,500. If you notice po, airlines, para po siyang hotel, no? Since we're in a hotel, as the demand increases and the supply goes lower, medyo yung pricing po tumataas, no? And of course, we will also offer promotions regularly for this particular route. So kami po talaga we encourage, especially those planning to fly, to plan early para po hindi na po nakikipag-compete dun sa pag-time na wala na pong supply or konti na lang po yung seats. So yun po, and then we also want to try as best as possible to keep prices low even to points ng beyond Cebu po. So kung pupunta po kayo, if you have business or visiting friends and relatives or leisure activities po sa Iloilo, Bacolod, or Cagayan, or for example, one way, no, the connection to Katiklan, going to Katiklan, yung minensyo ko po, alis po dito ng 11:10, tapos nasa Katiklan na po kayo, Boracay ng 3:20. We will try to make those connections competitive also po. Na hindi sure para yung presyo ng one way, pinagdugtong mo yung isa pang leg na nag-add, we will see if we can actually be lower and really ensure that this particular route grows, no? And then flourishes.
Shella from the Filipino Sentinel.
Go ahead.
Hello, sir. In addition po, sir, to Mr. Britannico question. Sir, sa pamasahe po natin, bawat passenger, may isasama rin po ba rito sa yung insurance po nila?
Yung insurance po can be bought as an ancillary. Nabibili po siya when you buy a ticket. There's always the option po to add insurance. But una po, we will emphasize po that the flight is safe, no. And again, if you see, this is the time of day that we will be flying, and we want to ensure the traveling public that the flight is safe. But of course, if the passenger opts to buy insurance, that service is available po sa atin bilhin. No? So, thank you.
Shalom, Miss Grace from UNTV.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, ma'am.
Kay Mayor Magano. Mayor, yung concern po
Mayor, may tanong po.
Mayor, sir, yung concern po ng mga residente po doon regarding sa sasakyan, may libreng ano po ba na libreng sakay para sa mga constituents po doon na maapektuhan sa kanilang mga transportation.
Good question. No? Ang problema natin is wala tayong available na sasakyan. Ang isa sa mga proposal ng mga tao, yung affected na community doon is sana meron silang ibigay namin, i-dedicate namin yung aming bus sa kanila. Dadalawa na lang ang bus natin sa local government unit. Ito pa yung mga donation na binigay sa atin. At talagang ito'y gamit na gamit ito. So hindi mo pwedeng i-dedicate para sa kanila. So nagkaroon tayo ng arrangement. No? We're going to open, may window na open yung ating airport so that residents and students can use the airport. At the same time, meron din tayong ginawang parang bypass road doon na maliit. Para siguro mga 25 meters yun. Para hindi na pupunta yung sasakyan doon sa tarmac. Pero as I said, there should only be a window. Kung kailan dadaan yung mga estudyante, dadaan yung mga tao, at dadaan yung mga sasakyan. Ang permanent solution yan, these are just temporary solutions. Ang permanent solution is to really build that, construct that diversion road at the edge of the runway. Kaya lang, kailangan natin ng tulong ng Department of Public Highways because it will entail so much cost. We're going to buy properties, expropriate properties. Hindi naman basta-basta na pag in-expropriate mo yan, hindi ka magbabayad. Market value, babayaran mo pa rin yan. We have to go through PESA. Meron mga properties ng PESA, meron ding privately owned lots dyan. Pero, yun ang gagawin namin. Another is, yung dulo ng runway na yun, gagawa muna kami ng walkway, pathway, para at least yung mga tao, habang sarado yung airport, kasi isasara natin ng 8:30 hanggang 30 minutes after the departure of the plane. So that's about 2.5 hours, 3 hours na close yan. Siyempre, mga tao, kailangan nila lumabas, kaya gagawa tayo ng diversion na pathway. So these are the things that we have agreed upon with the members of the community, with CAP, and with the barangay.
Thank you po, Mayor. Question po sa PAL. Sir, sa start po sa December 16, may promo ba sa unang passengers to Cebu? Baka maka-avail kami.
Ngayon po, we have an existing promotion with MasterCard po. No, so if you have a MasterCard, whether credit card or debit card, and abangan nyo rin po in the next few days, we will also be announcing a year-end promo. No? But tingnan po natin kung mahahabol pa for the first flight. Sabi ko nga po, yung unang flight medyo napupuno na eh. But definitely, we will be supporting the route regularly with the promotions po. No, para naman po sa mga senior citizen, applicable po yung senior citizen discount. So, wag po niyong kakalimutan i-select sa website or pag magbubook po sa ticket offices or sa contact center, pwede rin pong sayang po yung discount. And just the question on the insurance po kanina, yung insurance products po natin, we work with a third party, but it covers not only the flight, no, but the policy, if you look at it, also covers any incident, no, and you can check the policy for the duration of your vacation, for example, in Baguio or Cebu. So sometimes the value of insurance is just not the flight, but also covering your entire trip for any inconveniences or for any emergencies po that you will encounter. And Shell was just mentioning, we have year-round promo fares. And of course, as we suggested, mas maganda po, maaga talaga po napaplano.
Shelo, we have two more questions from the bulletin. The
Okay.
next is Bombo Radio.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Magandang umaga po. Sir, we would like to know if how would you be planning to market the Baguio to Cebu flights? Are you going to put like Davao to Baguio via Cebu or Bacolod to Baguio via Cebu or something like that? And would you be giving, just like you mentioned, you have special fare rates or promo rates? So how would you go about it?
Yes po, aside from the point po na Baguio to Cebu, we also are marketing po yung connections po natin. Kanina po binanggit ko po, there are specifically 3 destinations that we connect perfectly po from Cebu. Iloilo, Bacolod, Cagayan de Oro po, both ways po, yung papunta pong doon at saka pabalik po, napakaganda po yung connections. Yung ibang destination naman po natin like Davao, yung papunta pong Davao may connection po tayo. No? Same day po na mabilis. Likewise for Katiklan, likewise po sa Siargao, no? Sa mga mahilig po mag-surfing, and there are other destinations also like Butuan. And sabi ko po, the way we also want to develop all this connectivity is to make sure that the prices are also affordable for the traveling public. So, in many of these routes, hindi po namin ikakarga yung buong one-way. So, pag pinagsama po yun, mapupunan nyo na discounted po yung pag sila pinagsama yung dalawang leg po ng flight. So, especially po during leave, pag peak po, minsan napakahirap po kasi napakataas po yung demand. But kami po syempre, as a public, as an airline, of course, we try to make the prices affordable and accessible po for the traveling public. So, unfortunately po, there are external factors that sometimes drive it up, like fuel and other operating expense. But ito po, no, the more po that the flight will get traction and get patronage and flight loads, load factors are up, the more po that we can offer competitive rates. Kasi po, pati po yung cost ng per seat na bumababa po bumababa. So, isa pong factor yon na hopefully po, matulungan niyo po kami to promote, and then we can really get traction and sustainability for this.
Sir, how much are you looking at if you're going to give a discount from like a package rate from, let's say from Katiklan to Baguio via Cebu? How much would a particular passenger would be able to save from a Katiklan to Cebu to Baguio? Instead of the whole package, how much would be?
Yes, usually po mga 25 to 30%. And if we have promotions po, really more aggressive po than that. Even 50%. Kuminsan nga po, baka magkataon pa na, there are extreme examples na kuminsan mas mura pa yung hanggang Cagayan kaysa yung Cebu to Baguio on its own. So kuminsan po, but there will be instances po na ganun. But typically po, we're looking po at 25 to 30% discount versus per leg. But definitely we will try to make it cheaper than travelers having to motor from Baguio to Manila, then fly to these destinations. So, yun po yung isa pang pinaka-benchmark namin para po to make the flight attractive po to the traveling public.
Follow-up lang po kay Director Joey. Director Joey, we've noticed that there's a sprinkling of foreign visitors in the region. But with the onset of Baguio, Cebu Baguio flights, are we looking at tapping more like foreign visitors that are dropping by Cebu and be able to invite them over to the Cordilleras?
We have actually thought of that already. We're looking at international travelers from Cebu. And just for the information of everybody, there are about 150 international flights flying to Cebu weekly. And this would include from South Korea, that's Incheon and Busan. We also have Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, that's from Narita Airport. Then we have Qatar, Doha, UAE, that's from Dubai, Turkey, from Istanbul and Taiwan. This all flies to Cebu. No, and this could already be our target market for international tourism in the city of Baguio and the Cordilleras. That's why we're very excited. I mentioned and we're very excited about it because it will not only benefit the city of Baguio but also other areas of the Cordilleras, since Baguio City is just also a gateway to the rest of the Cordilleras. And in terms of domestic flights, we have more than 1,000 domestic flights flying to Cebu. Of course, that includes the PAL, no? There are other airlines. And this can connect now from the Cebu to Baguio flight of PAL. No? So, in terms of sustainability, we can really see a huge, a high potential.
You mentioned earlier that you played host to, some of the tour officials from Region 7. Have you already designed some tour packages that would cater for the two areas? I mean, like in Cordilleras and in Cebu province and the like.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's actually one of the priority programs of the DOT is on circuit development, or in other words, that's package development. And that's why we have to really closely work with our tour operators. Sila yung naglalagay ng cost dyan. And the strategy there is to really bring them to all of these tourism sites and help them develop a circuit. Also, and at this time, we have already developed like bird watching activities within City of Baguio and nearby. And we also have an existing farm tourism circuits. We have moto caravan circuits that can go all the way to the highest point of the Cordillera, the Tinok or Bugyas. And we have bike to the highest point as well. That's another circuit for those who are interested to really go into this kind of a lifestyle. And that can actually even bring more investment demand, no, in terms of rental on bikes. And of course, we have festival tours are also available now. Of course, Panagbenga is there. We have Adivay Festival and other festivals, especially in Ifugao. And of course, our nature and wellness tours are available within the Baguio, Benguet areas. No? So forest bathing is there, and the trekking, and so many other tour packages that are already available for our target market.
Finally, sir, I would like to ask a question to Mayor. Sir, Mayor, what kind of products are we planning to ship to Cebu via the available flights now? Are we able to bring some of the Baguio products to Cebu?
Mayor, what products can our flights carry to Cebu and vice versa?
Okay, good question. Nagtanong na kami pagdating sa cargo. Kaya lang, very limited yung capacity ng aeroplano, yung Q400 Bombardier. It's an 85-seater. Pero, ang binanggit sa akin is, it can only accommodate about a 3/4 of a ton, 750. Ganun eh, ang sinabi sa akin. Mas as you wanted to ship as many vegetables. In fact, marami na akong mga kaibigan doon na gusto na nilang mag-order ng vegetables sa atin. No? Kaya lang, limited nga yung capacity ng aircraft. So, siguro mga kuha natin dito, mga produkto natin dito, coffee, isa yan, ano? Strawberry. Yun ang pwede natin i-ship doon. I really wish na pwede tayo mag-ship ng maraming vegetables doon, but it requires siguro a cargo plane to really ship it out to Cebu.
Mayor, can we add to that? Can we ship yung raisin bread ng Baguio Country Club? And then at the same time, Cebu Lechon naman pabalik ng Baguio.
Yun ang tinatawag
Ang
na
galing mo, sir.
opportunity.
Pwede kang consultant ng
Yun ang
LGU.
tinatawag nating opportunity.
Maraming po salamat.
Magdadala ng pasalubong na gano'n.
What a novel idea. Okay, yes, Kid?
We have, pwede pa sir, last two more questions from Bobo Radio.
Ay, hello po. To Mayor. Mayor, ano po yung naging assessment po ninyo yung quick response team po natin sa Luwakan? And part po ba yung 50 million na commitment ng CAAP para i-upgrade or strengthen yung ating quick response team? Because yung mga fire truck po yata galing na ron, international airport na inakyat po dito para po sa safety
Okay.
if ever may mangyari. Salamat po.
Yung bagong fire truck, relatively new fire truck yun eh, na inakyat dito galing nga sa Lawag. Relatively new. Siguro nakita nyo naman, di ba? I think it's a 2-year fire truck. It's still relatively new. Alam mo naman, fire truck, halos hindi magamit-gamit yan pagdating sa airport. Ang CAAP have their own emergency response team. And at the same time, nandiyan naman yung ating fire station ngayon. Meron naman tayong fire team dyan sa PESA, which can immediately respond kung sakasakali may problema tayo. Now, we're also increasing the capability and capacity of our SWAT team sa Philippine National Police. In fact, if you remember, mga 700 lang ang police natin when I became mayor. Ngayon, 1,400 ng may ikuan natin yan. Ang PNP natin dito. And we continue to equip them with special equipment. Pati yung kanilang SWAT capability, talaga in-enhance pa natin. So we have adequate response team in case meron tayong isang critical incident o meron tayong emergency. Thank you.
Okay. Are you hungry, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure it's a yes. But one more question
Last but not the least.
before the lunch. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mr. Lacandale, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. This is just an opportunity to us for the hotel industry and particularly the accommodations. So, the hotel was so very happy upon hearing na bumalik po yung Philippine Airlines or yung flight, commercial flight dito sa Baguio. This is a great potential boost for the tourism of the Cordillera tourism, not only for Baguio, particularly for the benefits of the hotels and the accommodations. This is also in line with the opportunities that was being launched by the Department of Tourism last month, finding yourself in the Cordilleras. Ma'am Joby was there. I was also attended that tourism commercials. And my question is, can we incorporate the PAL package with our corporate hotel tour package? Is there a special rate for us, for the hoteliers?
So I think packages definitely are one way to promote. Kasi we need to give people a reason to travel. Diba? Parang they may not know exactly what to do. It's not just Baguio as an end destination. Hello? Yeah, it's not just Baguio as an end destination, but as you mentioned, there's Baguio as a gateway to to the Cordilleras. No? So I think that's how we can package so that we can target more travelers and build up this leisure market base. So in terms of rates, definitely I think BUD will be able to work out tour basing fares that can be packaged. We are also partnered with a a local online travel marketplace called Guide to the Philippines, where they create a lot of content, and they also, promote packages, to and from Cebu and Baguio. So definitely these are collaborations that we can explore further. Thank you.
As mentioned po by Rabi, for our partners po in the tourism industry, we will be having tour-based fairs po. So you can distribute them po, and at the same time our partner travel agents can also distribute that. And we also have a guide to the Philippines po sa Philippine Airlines. So we will definitely connect Baguio Country Club and of course all the hotels in the region po with that particular portal.
Okay, so that ends this press conference portion on the Q&A, but hindi pa po tapos because lunch will be served, and while lunch is being served, we will be drawing the first 6 of 12 winners of a Philippine Airlines Cebu, Baguio, Cebu route. Are you excited? Okay, so take it away, the Baguio Country Club.